So, first of all, thank you so much for coming
Thank you for
and
having us,
accepting
sir.
our invitation. And I would request Dr. Angna is around here. Dr.
Yes.
Angna? Yeah. So, can you come forward?
Good evening, one and all present here. On behalf of Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir, our Honorable Founder President, Amity Education and Research Group, our respectable Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan sir, and our dynamic Honorable Professor Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Balwinder Shukla Madam, and Ms. Pooja Chauhan Madam, Chairperson of Amity School of Film and Drama, Professor Dr. Manohar Sajnani, Mentor, ASFD, Professor Naresh Sharma Sir, Head of ASFD, and our Deputy Director, Professor Dr. Aman Wat Sir, I, Dr. Angna Datta, faculty at ASFD, welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce a rising star whose talent knows no doubt. From her compelling performance in Guilty and her acclaimed role in Monica Oh My Darling, Akansha Ranjan Kapoor has captivated audience with her prowess on screen. With her upcoming debut in South Indian films with Maya One and her influential brand collaborations, she embodies the essence of talent and grace. Please join us in welcoming Akansha Ranjan Kapoor as we celebrate her journey and wishes her bright future in the film industry. Welcome, Ms. Akansha.
Thank you so much. That was lovely. Thank you.
Now I would like to request Professor Naresh Sharma sir to kindly start with the moderation.
So, first of all, there's a request to the students that if you need to discuss something important, kindly go out and do it. That's a very important announcement.
I've not heard that in so long.
So, this is basically a primary interaction. I figured it out from some of these people. How many of you have seen the Monica Oh My Darling? One of the famous song of 60s, from where the idea was given. So my question is that you are born and brought up into a family of a filmmaker. A filmmaker in a different capacity. He graduated from FTI, I'm not sure, 74 or 75 batch, which has produced maximum number of star directors, Saeed Mirza, Kundan Shah, you name it, and cinematographers like Binod Pradhan, Jangir Chaudhary, you name it. And they made it in the industry. It was a time when FTI was already known, and Shashi Ranjan was from the same time. We have seen the diploma production where he acted. And then he continued his journey as an actor and then later on as a director. So you had the privilege of seeing film people, discussion of cinema happening over there. So from where you decided that you would like to be an actress rather than becoming a chemical engineer or something else.
Should I face?
Yeah,
them?
these people.
Okay. So Dad went to FTI, like you said. He wanted to act. He, from this esteemed batch of people, actually, he was one who didn't make it as an actor. He did the rounds. He did what all of aspiring actors do: come here, do your auditions, do your everything, and it didn't quite work out for him. What he had on his side was his batchmates who did make it, and which is how he came up with ideas and thoughts, and that's how he followed into direction, because he said, "Agar, I want to be part of this business, but I'm not sure what yet." And he was good at with his words, he was good at all of those things, and that's how he followed into direction. So yes, because of that, I've had the privilege of being in and around these great people, but I don't think there was any particular point where I said, "Acha, I think aaj mujhe banna hai." I think because it was in Dad, I was born with the DNA, like the Kida as you call it. So that was always there. I was always acting in school. I was always directing the plays, acting in the plays, and switching on the TV, performing, watching. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was having fun. And I think somewhere when in the 9th, 10th grade, when people started deciding what they want to do, further education, I said, oh, मुझे वो करना है, मुझे करिश्मा कपूर के जैसे डांस करना है, you know, all of those things. So it was just gradual, slowly, but something I was always sure of my whole life.
So when you got the first project as an actress, and we all are nervous, and because it is going to make it or break it. So what was your way you started preparing, in the sense that this is the project in which I have to prove my mettle?
So I was lucky because my first film was Guilty, in which the director Ruchi was very, very hands-on. Also because she only had Nuchi Narayan, yes. She had a bunch of newcomers except Kiara. We all were newcomers. So there was a lot of prep. So that also helped me going forward in my other films to understand, okay, itna zyada kaam jata hai, you know, this is what you need to do. So we had 4 months of prep. I think one thing that she taught me, and it stays with me in every film that I go into, is don't judge your character. So for me, that was such a big hurdle because I said, what is she doing? Why is she wearing that? Why would she say that? And she's like, if you judge her, then how are you going to play her? Because you don't judge yourself when you make decisions. So that was something. Then of course we had a lot of, I had a lot of dialect prep to, you know, get that little accent. Just every day going in and out. We did, I think every day for 3 months we did the script once. So she was very, very thorough. And which is why when we went into the film, I could on the spot, I was coming up because I was inside out, I was Tanu, you know. So by the time you're on set, you know who she is, you're her. And then you can play her because you're no more being yourself, you're being her. And then everything you do is from thinking and being that character.
So when the project was offered to you, this is the usual ASFT. So when the project was offered to you, it's basically on paper, it's a story, it's a character. Sometimes you feel that. So what motivated you to choose that particular project to begin with? Is it also helpful for you to have a women director in the film as a comfort zone to work with?
So I always say this, you don't choose your first film chooses you. So I didn't have 10,000 scripts that I could choose from. I was just auditioning, and I got this offer. You know, so that was one very honest reason for choosing the film. But of course, I think for me, what I put most precedent.
But if not choosing, but at least if something you feel is sidey, is not shady, and something which is not going to happen for you, so you could do also reject. You may not choose, but you also reject. 100%. And you wait for something.
Correct.
Where you feel, okay, this
Correct.
is something which I want.
Correct. So I think for me, what set with maximum precedence for me is, I want to be part of an atmosphere where I can learn. So either I have a great co-star, or I have a great director, or I have a great setup, something where I can absorb, where I can just grasp. So that was very important to me, because of course in your first film you don't always get, you know, a main lead, whatever I said, but I want to do some character, or I want to be part of a setup. The setup was great, you know, it was with Netflix, it was with Hermetic. So and then I was acting with Kiara, who was by then in her 3rd or 5th year of working, so I was learning so much from her. So I think the setup was very important to me. That's something I still till date, even if I get a 3-minute role, I'm like, ठीक है, पर is there anything I can learn? Is there anything I'm getting back? That's very important to me.
So now you have done a couple of projects, and how do you handle a situation when you did your best and director says no, it's not happening?
During filming? So I don't mean to brag, but it doesn't happen very often. It did happen in TVC I did, where I think one line we reshot 15 times, and by then I'm sweating and I'm stressed and I'm not understanding it.
You're fortunate it's just 15. If you work with Anand Mahindru, it could be 30 or 40.
So the DOP was Mani Kadam sir. So he's getting angry. I'm sure if you all know, a superb, very, very highly respected DOP from the south. So he had no time for my amateur, you know. So it was right after Guilty, the first TVC I ever got. Abhishek Varman was directing it, the director of Two States and Kalang. And I had to say, मुझे उड़ना ना कुछ समथिंग एक लाइन था मेरे सपनों में था आई थिंक वो एक वन ईयर आफ्टर दैट बिकॉज आई सेड इट सो मेनी टाइम्स you have to keep your calm, you have to be just present, gathered. I think you can't spill your guts all over the place, and just hear what the director wants from you, and try again and again, and you'll figure it out. You know, you have to just. I think most important is being present in the moment, and just hearing what the director wants from you, and you meet him somewhere.
Uh, when you go to a drama school or a film school, you get to know all these big names, Grotowski, Meissner, Stanislavski, etc., etc. So, did you also gone through these so-called textbooks of acting at your own way and try to get something out of it which could be helpful for you to prepare as an actor?
Yes and no, because in film school, when I was in Whistling Woods, Rob Reese was our acting coach, so he was, you know, from the actor studio. So all of his craft, all of his techniques were from Stanislavski. Me personally, like I said, I'm a very intuitive actor, so I'm not all about the method because I feel sometimes it kind of drags me back where I'm so aware that I know I'm using the method. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, I'm focusing too much on the method. So that's something maybe I've not figured my groove with that yet, because of course I know it works wonders for the, you know, amazing actors. But so I'm more something between action and cut. जो होता है वो होता है. That's what personally is my.
Now coming to this film, Monica, Oh My Darling. So some of the students over here have seen the film. So anybody has a question that would be more welcome rather than I asking it. So anybody has a particular question, please raise your hand and one by one we can take it up.
No question.
No question. Okay. So I have a question. When you work with an established star, say for example, Rajkumar Rao, by the time he was established, and there is a role for you, and then there is a scene, you interact with various people. So, what is something which makes you confident to face these kind of people in any of the situation, particularly in context of this film I'm talking about?
Not to think about it. If you're focusing too much कि मैं राजकुमार राव के साथ act कर रही हूँ, he's this brilliant actor, then you've lost yourself. You know, learn from them. You know, that was very important, that when I was doing scenes with him, I was noticing his craft, how he reacts, how he's on set. That's the job of an actor, na? Observation. So observe. But you're on that set for a reason. आपने कुछ सही किया है, तो आप जो भी कर रहे हो आप करो. You do your work and forget the rest, because otherwise you'll constantly be intimidated and then you've lost it. You know, you've just lost the flow.
So being in a city like Delhi, Bombay and some other cities, say for example Lucknow, Bhopal, where theatre is also very, very prominent. So do you very often go to, there's only one place in Blue,
Prithvi Theatre.
and try to catch up with certain performances of people, say for example Nasir, and there are many people who does theatre and cinema both. So is it also your way of learning?
Not me, sir, but that's a flaw in me. I know, like, there are so many actors, you know, sometimes who are part of films, and I'm like, he's amazing, it's his first film. Kya? Theatre actor. I said, of course, theatre actor. Like, they're just brilliant. Even if you audition with Mukesh Chabra, a lot of his assistants and everybody who's there, they're acting better than like the people who are giving the audition, and they all come from drama school and theatre backgrounds, and so I think that's the best school, honestly. As a watcher, no, I don't watch much theatre. Yeah.
So my next question is getting inspired from various landmark performances. Hollywood is always there, and so does the European cinema. And you being brought up in a family where Europe and US is always there. So do you remember certain actor and actresses, a particular scene from a particular film when you was watching and you said, wow, this is something one day I should be able to do?
So many, sir. But now, like,
We just named few and
I loved Marriage Story, the performance in that. Zendaya in what is the new movie, the black and white film where she's fighting Malcolm and Marie. The whole film is just their one long fight. What a performance! I think Kangana in Queen, one of my favorite Bollywood performances. Alia's performance in Urta Punjab, the whole time where she breaks down. So many, like, I'm constantly watching English films and I was like, how do they do this, man? How do they do this?
So, you're also working in South, and if you do not know the language, it's a little embarrassing and difficult also to pick up those languages. So, you talk about how do you manage to.
I'm learning Telugu, sir. I'm fully learning Telugu. I signed the film and I had 1 month to really, start shooting. So I got a tutor and I started learning the language. The script wasn't ready, so I said, "ठीक है, let's start from scratch." I started learning vowels, I started learning sentences, I started learning, basic words, just sentence forming. Hi, hello, how are you? I'm good. What's your name? And then when I got the script, I started learning the script, and now I'm I wouldn't say proficient. I speak amateur Telugu.
But do you feel little uncomfortable in front of
100%.
with those people who are proficient
100%.
speaking it for?
More than during the scene, it's before and after, when the director and actor talking and I was like, what are you all saying? Because you want to know kya chal raha hai, or you'll go cut and then sir will say something and I said, what, good, bad, sir, I don't know. So that for me was very what's going on, which is why I wanted to learn it even more, because I said I want to know what's happening on the set, and hopefully I'll do a lot more. I hope to do a lot more South films. So I think it's very important to learn the language, and also again it comes down to the spontaneity that I'd like to have on set. I can't have that if I'm not comfortable in my command of the language. A lot of people use prompters, so if you're using a prompter, they're saying something and then you're repeating, but then you can't do anything else because you're just repeating your lines. So you're so focused on that. So for me, it was very essential to learn the language.
Now, particularly in past 5 to 6 years, I would say, there is a kind of a marriage between Bollywood and South Indian cinema. You see one lead actor from South and one actress from North, and they are doing successfully 5 languages simultaneously releases. So, do you see that learning any other language also would be helpful for you to bring more South Indian people on board?
100%. Tamil, after that Malayalam, that's the aim, but they are very tough languages. But which is why, like, our film is Telugu and Tamil. It's releasing in both. I'm learning Telugu because we're shooting in Telugu. But yeah, it's great. Like, that's the whole point. I feel as an artist, what do you want? You want people to reach to maximum people. You want more people to see your work. Whatever you do, you're doing it for the world to see it. So being more open and available to different languages, different kinds of people, different background, it works for everybody, and it works for you the most.
So could you talk about any of your future projects which you're doing? I mean, normally there is a contract in which you're not supposed to disclose, but still you could not mention the name of the film or director, but still you could.
What's the fun then? So just Maya one is what we focus on.
So, since these people are aspiring actors and
is this filmmaking or
this is
acting?
80 to 90% people are from filmmaking department,
Okay.
and around so far the faces I could remember, 6 to 7 people are from acting department also. So it's a mixed bag of students. So what is your advice for those people who are studying the acting and they wanted to build a career in film industry, I would
I
say?
have a bandar of advice. Every time something happens, I was like, I want to share this with aspiring
So
actors.
here is the opportunity.
Here is the opportunity. I don't know, I just feel like so much. I feel like, one, because this is such a volatile business, for me, what's worked, I'll say what works for me instead of giving advice, because I don't know if I'm in any place to give advice to anybody. But being able to control the controllables, I think that's very important, because it's not in your hands. Like, everyone comes out of film school with starry eyes, big dreams, but then the real world hits you and you're like, oh damn, this is much tougher than I thought, you know. So control the controllables, focus on what you can do. I feel like the most important is that no work is too big or too small. Start somewhere. Like in films, work brings work. If you're an actor, ad karo. If you're a director, music video karo. जो भी करना है, बस काम करते रहो. Too many people are going to tell you to quit because it's too hard. Too many people are going to tell you plan B करो यार, पैसे कैसे कमाओगे, मम्मी पापा क्या कहेंगे, it's so tough, it's so tough. Just keep going. If you love it, just keep going. Keep auditioning, keep like making short films, make films on reels. I don't know, just keep putting your work out there. If you're talented and you're hardworking, it will happen. Like, it will happen. That's all I can say.
So I can keep going on and on, but if you have a question in between, you can ask it. If somebody has a question, somebody wanted to ask over there in the back side. Give the mic if you need the mic. So even if without the mic you can ask, we can hear it.
I've always said my favorite actor was always Irfan Khan, so I thought he was just mind blowing. Just mind blowing. Someone I want to work with is Ayushmann. He's someone I really want to work with. I feel.
And what about Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, all these big names?
Why not? But I feel like right now, like I told, so I'm in a place where I'm trying to observe and learn and all of those things, and I want to work with these kind of actors where I feel like I can grasp as much as I can. And Ayushmann has been someone who I really look up to as an actor, so I want to be on a film set with him.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
So I'll wrap it up, and first of all, thank you so much for coming over here.
Thanks.
You may not find so many people over here, but they are the relevant people. So crowd would be outside.
That's okay.
Where
If I've managed to inspire in one budding actor,
Correct.
I've done my job.
Yeah. So thank you so much, and we are really privileged to have you over here. And as you said rightly, even one, if you could really inspire and catalyze his journey or her journey, it's done. So thanks once again, and may I request Hina over here to present on behalf of our Honorable Chairperson, ASLT. She has sent some gift on behalf of our department. So she's on the way to bring it, I suppose. Yeah, she has come. Please. So we can go there and then we can present. Thank you.
Thank you so much.